Welcome to another episode of Prattle with Tré Vayne for connoisseurs of casual conversation. This week, what are friends for? Well, we'll find out. This is a Friendsgiving special where I invite some of my best Judys to talk about the glory, the beauty, the intimacy, and the trials and tribulations of friendship as we answer the age-old question, friend, where have you been? Let's go. Let's go. Two are familiar faces, Tyla, who prattled about reality TV, and Victor, who prattled about style and personality. And we'd like to give a gorgeous, warm welcome to Robert, the boy next door and future wag whose sweet nature and inviting demeanor have charmed people since 1996. Welcome all to Prattle. Welcome everybody.
Prattle.
So everyone, welcome to Prattle. How are y'all doing?
Good.
As I'm sweating like 1,000 suns, but you know what?
And you look phenomenal.
You're right. Gotta sweat it out.
Bad bitches sweat. I don't know.
We actually so we're talking about friendship, and it's great because we actually saw Wiki yesterday for Robert's birthday, and it was a beautiful friendship-filled day. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was the best day of my life. I feel like birthdays are really interesting for me specifically because my birthday is the 23rd of November. So like every 6 years it's on Thanksgiving. And then every year in general, it's like the week of Thanksgiving. So no one's ever around, and I never really celebrate it with like actual friends. And so this was like really, really special to spend my actual date of birth with like my best friends, watching a movie about friendship and then getting drunk. It was perfect.
I honestly thought Robert's birthday was in December for this whole time. Like, I did not know your birthday was in November at all.
Because the birthday party is always in December.
You always have to do in December.
And I'm like very, not so necessarily superstitious, but like I get really weird about celebrating it before. I feel like it makes more sense to celebrate after. You can set your intentions and you like start a new leaf. You don't.
Yeah, you got to get there. Yeah, you don't want to die before your birthday.
You can't start the book before you close the book.
Well, I thought we were saying for the celebration for after. That makes sense to me. Like you got to get to the milestone before you can celebrate it.
Cross the bridge.
Yeah. But I think we should open with how we all know each other and how we all became friends, because it was actually all 10 years ago.
I know, this is our 10th year.
Oh, a decade. That's actually so sweet. I met Tyla first. We talked about it in our episode, but we like met through a scholarship program. And then Tyla, how did you meet Rob?
For context, we all went to college together.
Yeah.
And so like at some point, we all went to a college that has like 6% black people. So like everybody, all the black people in the class of 2018 kind of know each other. I don't remember. I remember meeting you, but I don't know how. It might have been through like BSU. But we weren't friends famously until after we graduated.
Yeah, so it's like I don't really. Our meeting is not necessarily like a salient point,
Right.
because it was probably in.
And that's how you know you're good friends. I feel
Yeah.
like the best friends, you don't really actually know how it kicked off.
I feel like I met Victor through like black people activities freshman year.
Yeah, we met.
And Twitter.
Day one. And
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook.
And
Yeah.
we said
Oh.
black people.
Yeah.
Black people meet.
But I met all of you. Like, you guys are like some of like the first people I've met at NYU. Like,
Yeah.
I met.
Same.
Well, we famously had our contention about.
Oh
we met on
my
the
God.
student
Which we
DC
did.
thing, which I'll concede to.
Okay.
I've
You gotta do
I've
it.
come around to conceding to that.
Oh, yeah.
Let her have that. Happy birthday, Robert.
Thank you so much.
And so I'll just give you that. But you guys, I met you day one at.
I remember MSG because
MSG.
Tyla introduced me to you.
Yeah.
Tyla was like, you have to meet Victor.
We went together. We all met, and then we went up together.
And me and Victor famously knew each other through the black people on NYU class of 2018
Just be
Facebook
messy.
group. Which, like, if you were there
to
for
run that group, Tyler. ran
I'm so
that
sorry.
group.
I did run that group.
She said, I did, yeah.
That's
I
his
did.
thing.
Yes, I did. No,
She
she
had a
did.
lot going on.
But I feel like that's also the beauty. Like we met in kind of like random ways, and then we all got much closer after we graduated
Yeah, a lot.
college, because I moved away from New York, and then when I came back, I feel like that's when I got closer with specifically Robert and Victor.
Yeah.
But
Through a group chat, no
through
less.
a group chat called the Somewhat Unfriendly Black Hotties, obviously a reference to Mean Girls. I don't remember who made the name.
I feel like it was me. That's why I smiled. But
Oh, and it was Tyla, the provenance of the name, period. Yeah. And we've gone through literally everything as a friend group. And we are probably the most qualified people to talk about friendship. So
Absolutely.
we are going to be answering a lot of questions in 4 phases, the 4 natural phases of a friendship.
Oh.
And we're starting with the budding stage. So questions all about the beginning of friendship. So starting off the baseline, how friendly are you as a person? We got a chuckle from the friendliest girl on the couch.
Famously, I have been told that I'm not nice, like often, or that I'm like intimidating. I think that I move through the world like a girl from New York. I don't know you. Why are you talking to me? Like I don't like to talk to strangers, but like if someone has given you credibility and they bring you around, then I'm like the sweetest little baby angel. But like
Yeah, you're definitely not like rude. Or, like,
I
nasty.
just don't necessarily like to socialize with strangers unless I know that you are, this is going to sound so bad, worth socializing with.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just, it's the New York, like, I don't know you, why are you talking to me energy.
Yeah.
But then I'm really nice once people like get to know me.
Yeah, I feel like I would consider you like a friendly person, but I would definitely consider you not someone who's like trying to. But no, you're not like icing anybody out. But like, I get what strange. When you say strangers, though, do you mean like people you actually don't know, or like people that your people know that you don't know?
Like, if I'm sitting at a bar and someone comes and speaks to me, I'm dirty looking side eyeing. Why are you talking to me?
Yeah, I feel that.
But like, if I'm at a party and someone is like, "Oh, this is my friend so and so and so," then like I'm like, "Oh my gosh, hey, how do you know each other?" And
Yeah.
like, I'll chat with them for a little bit. But
yeah,
I'm not the person where like, unless I'm really drunk and then I'm having like the girls moment of like in the bathroom, like, "I love you so much. We're sisters forever." Outside of that, it's like, don't speak to me.
you're a friendly bitch, Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I did it myself.
Actually am. I mean, I don't think I'm like overly friendly, but it's like I'll chat, you know. I'm like
Yeah.
I'll shoot the shit. I'll do what I need to do. Like, we'll connect. I'm always open to that. I don't think I'm actively like seeking it out all the time. I don't know. I think in recent years I've like gotten a lot more, not shy, but like reserved, which I think is very interesting because I didn't used to be this way.
Yeah,
But I think I've like definitely my energy has kind of like shifted into a different space than I feel like I started out, because I feel like I used to be like a lot, like big, boisterous, like super, super friendly and excited to like meet people. And now I'm just kind of like, hey.
I know. I feel the same. I feel like it used to be like a caricature of like Barney. It's like been like the big like, hey guys, and it's like actually I don't need to do that. But I feel like my reticence is coming from the fact of realizing that like most people aren't interesting or cool. And that also sounds horrible too. But what I meant to say, what I meant by that is like I used to be like, oh, I need to be the friendliest person ever because like my best friend might be around the corner. And it's like, no, I've met the coolest people of New York already. You know what I mean? Like the people in my life are already the best. So it's like I don't need to be the friendliest person because I'm actually not looking for that many new friends in that sense. Like, I don't know.
I'm always open to a new friend. I feel like I'm always down for like a new friend. Yeah. I would say I'm pretty like on a scale of 1 to 10 on the friendliest meter. Like I feel like I'm like a solid 7, 8.
Yeah, I feel like 7, 8. Where are you, Robert? What's your number?
I'm a line 7, 8. I think similar to Victor too. I think I've become more.
I feel like you're friendlier. I feel like you think so.
I think you're
7, 8. I was
more
like,
friendly. Yeah.
I do. I mean, I do think I'm probably the friendliest of us. But
yeah.
But I think I'm also okay with having acquaintances. Like I think now in my older age, now that I'm pushing 30, I feel like I'm okay with the idea of like I'm always open to having a new friend, but I'm also cool with like I'll see you at the club. Or
managing
like
expectations.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm aligned with that.
I have a lot of really, really lovely friendships in my life. I don't need any more best friends, which sounds kind of fucked up to say, but I really do think that like friendship is time and friendship is effort. And it's like really important to me. And I don't want to like shit the bed on like building a friendship. And like if I don't have the time to like pour into you, I don't want to show up and be like a bad friend. Because that would make me sad to be a bad friend to somebody.
Okay, so the people on this couch are also like, we love going out, we love having a moment. But like, do you feel there's a difference between like going out friends and friends? Like, you know what I mean? Like
100%.
Yeah. I feel like if you can't, but then I don't know. I'm like, when people are like, if you have to drink every time you're around your friends, you're not friends. And that's true. But like most of the times I'm around people I'm with, I am drinking, but it's like, but you could though, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like you could, but.
I mean, I feel like you guys like famously watched me learn that lesson.
Yeah. Well, Tyler's a queen of the scene. You have a lot of like, but those are your real friends though. Like real friends in the Bushwick scene, and then you have like party friends.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys watched me learn the lesson of discerning who was who first before pouring in to.
We know the wonkiest lawyer ever.
Okay. But like, I feel like y'all watched me learn that like some people are actually just meant to be my party friends, and like they do not need to get the privileges of being a friend,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But it's true, there are people who began as my party friends who are now some of my closest friends.
Yeah.
But like, again, as Rob said, that took like time and effort and them
energy.
showing up for me in ways beyond just like, I made you a free drink, bestie. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, like, hey, bestie, whatever.
Yeah.
But
well, that's like so funny because also like in fashion, especially in like PR, it falls into the same trap where it's like, these are your colleagues and not your friends, but everything is so transactional and like there has to be like some effort and like some like sense of like maintaining that connection and like, you know, because your connections are your job, you know. It's like when friendship,
and the office is the club. That's crazy.
It's like, no, it's not. But it's like when like, you know, your job performance is based on like who you know and like what they can do for you and also like how like close you are, like, and it like muddles those lines. And that was something that was really important for me to realize is like, oh no, these are actually colleagues. Like these are people that work in the same industry with me, and they're not like, and there are people who can grow into like actual legitimate friendships, which is like, I have so many of those, like people who have like, who are really like ride or die and really supportive. And it just so happens that we work in the same industry and they can like help me with things and I can help them with things and give them free clothes and whatever. But so many of it, like so much of it becomes like transactional and like really fucking weird. And it like makes it pretty messy when you like really don't understand.
I hate a person who like uses over friendly terms too early, like bestie, and like I also like, okay, here's a question. Like I feel like love you in a friendship, like saying I love you to a friendship, like I do not do that early or like easily, like at all. Like I need to like, when people are like the first day you met them, like I love you, like you're my I'm like, that is such a red flag for me. It's like a little strange. Like it's like, I don't know.
I do it so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. To me, it reads like red flag. It reads like, I don't know. It's like, you're not my best friend. I don't love you yet. It's like strange.
I recently had a friend who was like that, who was like famously like a Capricorn, my queen. But we were friends for like a good 5 months. And I would be like, love you, girlie. And she'd be like, care for you deeply. And I'd be like, slay.
Pump that brake. Hold on. Hold on now.
And then there was like one more. She was like, I love you guys. And literally we were like, and she was like, and don't make it a big deal. But like, you know, I get it. We had to earn that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Time is everything too for a lot of people.
Right.
Like time is everything. Because I think that there are a lot of people that you can come close to really quickly, or like things can move really fast. But like, there's no replacement for having spent a long time with someone. And that's not to say that like everyone you spend 10 years knowing is going to be like your best friend. But like,
that's real.
It means something to have history, to have inside jokes, to have like, you have things, like you've built something, you know?
And also now that I'm getting older, like I do realize that like I am a different person every year, 2 years. So it is just nice to have a person who's known like every version of you, like every kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like that always is like, I feel like super important. But I'll say another question is, what makes you, like when you see someone, meet someone out, like what makes you be like, oh, I really want to be their friend? Like what do you look for in people to be like, wait, I like that person. I want to be close to that person.
I famously have bad discernment. So. I don't know.
I don't think you do.
I really don't think you have bad. I wouldn't say bad discernment. I wouldn't say that. I just feel like you're like a girl who likes, like, I would say like you like a community and a group to like move through the ranks of. And you always do, by the way. You always like end up like leading the situation. But you always like a sub community and you're like, oh, this is fun. And then I'm going to be friends with everyone. I'm going to date the hottest guy and I'm going to find it. Like, and that's always what happens.
It sounds way more calculated than like it happens.
No,
like,
that's just
like
how it happens.
Like,
that's just
naturally like, I'm just naturally that girl. Yeah, I just like fun. And I like.
So you're like a fun person, a boisterous person. Like,
yeah, like I like fun and I like people who can match my freak. Like, you know, like if we're out and we're like on a similar vibe, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
But like sometimes those people aren't always the best people, but I look for a good time.
Right. You gotta have a good time. And also some friendships are made to end, and that's okay. You gotta, you know what I mean? You had a moment, you had a time. You don't think so?
Season or a reason.
A season or a reason kind of girl. Yeah.
I feel like the bitch on this couch that has the most like who is always the firmest to their standards of friendships is always Rob though. Like Rob was always like, and that was that for me. Thank you. But like in a very kind, just very firm and like your friendship's boundaries where you're like,
100%.
Yeah, you know what you want.
Yeah, no, I feel like I think it's the Sagittarian in me. I think it's just like, and I also think I'm like very much my mother's child. My mom is very much like a big boundaries person, and she like holds a grudge. I famously don't hold a grudge, but I do hold a boundary. And so I think for me, red flags are just like small interpersonal things that like tell me about who you are, like in general.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a Venmo person and like we're at a if we're at a if we're at a bar if we're at a bar and in real time you like we're like all sitting down and it's like, oh, I'll grab a drink for everybody, you grab me a drink and you're like, oh, can you Venmo me $15 right now? No, we're having a conversation.
I'll kill you.
Like text me after like we're in the middle of a conversation. Like I feel like that kind of stuff just derails it. Or people, and for me what that tells me is like you're not a person that can like do back and forth. Also, I don't want to like, I'm not trying to be in anybody's pockets. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Right.
But I'm like, we can always do 50-50. Friendships are going to be 50-50, or sometimes they'll be 90-10. And like, if you can't even do that, and again, that's like a small example, but if you can't even do that, I like know long term,
Right.
this might not work. This might not work if that's going to be how you, a tit for tat. And me and Victor talk a lot about goal posting, which is like my biggest red flag in a friend is like someone who will like over index on what you do for other people if it doesn't happen for you, because everybody else's relationships are like different
strange
and they exist in a different way. And so like you being like, oh, well, you hung out with this person that day, but like I asked you to do something and you couldn't do it for me, which is like, you can express those things and be like, you know, I just want to see you more.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to communicate that, as opposed to being like, you did this thing for this person and it's like, oh, baby, that's clip for me.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear from you ever again. Like we're
monitoring spirit.
Exactly.
Because it also doesn't take into account like what the other person on that end of the relationship is doing too. Because,
yeah, exactly.
Like this person asked me like 3 weeks ago to put this in my calendar. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and
Sally checks on me.
Or what they need. Like it could be like they're going through something and I need to pour into that friendship more. Like, why you watching what she doing?
Right.
I feel like for me, like aligned with that is like jealousy. Like people like when you're doing great can't genuinely be happy for you.
Yeah.
And like want to be like, you know, like the like sly little like, oh, because you know you.
I can't do a dig.
It's like, do you want to fight?
Do a dig.
Like, I feel like
I get real nasty with digs. Yeah, because it's like also I am also wait. This is actually a great segue. So we're gonna segue into the second phase of friendship, which is when you're just deep in it, right? You're friends, you're locked in. And with that, you were saying about the little digs thing. It's like, okay, unhappiness when your friends are unhappy, right? It's a hard situation to be in because like, yes, hurt people, but I like don't internalize that. Like I think if you're hurt, bitch, say something. Like why are you, or you can hurt someone once, right? If you have a one little weird night and then you're like, okay, this is happening. But like those friends, when you have a friend who is clearly like spiraling, struggling, and like lashing out, like, well, Tyler's really good at that though. Like I'm such a like selfish bitch. I'm like, okay, you're mean to me, then have fun over there in your corner. But Tyler's always like, I'm like, this person was a bitch, and Tyler was like, but what was going on? And I'm like, you're the.
I feel like
it's the way to do it. It's the way to be. It's the way to place to be. But I like don't have that.
I feel like it's the mentally ill in me. Like I am famously, and we say that word so much, but like famously, we know each other. I am not well quite often, and I am also a Sagittarius. And the combination of those two things means that sometimes I'm a little nasty. Like I can be a little snippy. And so I feel like, I don't know, I'm just in my like empathy era, I guess. And I'm like, how about we hold space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity?
Let's do that first and foremost. Let's do that first and foremost.
And see where everyone is coming from. Because I think it depends also.
Yeah.
If someone is living like that all the time and like it's just a person who is like deeply unhappy with themselves and is always being nasty and lashing out, that's just who you are and you need to go fix that and I don't want to be a part of it.
Right.
Whereas like if you know that someone is like living in a moment where they are unhappy and lashing out because of it, it's like I'm gonna let you have this one little thing.
Right. I'll let you.
We've got like a 5 to 6 month cap on this before we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And then we can move on. But like everybody's got to
That
We
is
all
a
go through shit.
long cap. 5 to 6 months is a long
Yeah, wait, actually,
time. That
that's
is a
leeway.
long
That is
That was-
fine.
I was-
I think that's a very valid
I guess
time
I
frame.
guess yeah, in the time of like getting over a big turmoil.
depressive episode.
But yeah, you can't be crashing out the whole 5 6 months though.
No,
Like, you
it's got to be like a little, you know, some days you're bad, some days
Yeah.
you're good. And like, you
and a
know,
little bit of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
a
Yes,
little
that's
bit of
true.
self-awareness. Like, you know, like I'm not expecting you to apologize for everything all the time, but it has to be some sort of like, yo, my bad. Like
I crashed out.
I'm going
I'm
crazy.
going through.
I'm losing it.
I'm wild out.
losing it.
But like also you can't be like consistently doing mental gymnastics for somebody who like doesn't want to
Yeah.
be better.
Yeah.
So I'm big on the empathy, yeah, but I'm also like, I can't keep doing the mental gymnastics
Right.
of figuring out where your hurt is coming
What
from.
the time is, where you are.
What the time is,
Where you are.
So Rob, what's your boundaries for lashing out and for like being a little nasty during a moment?
I honestly, again, because I'm like not a person that'll hold a grudge, I let people get it off because I think like sometimes everything that you say is not exactly like how you feel, or how you act is not exactly how you feel. I think sometimes people just do things. I don't think that everyone always means it, but I do think like within like a week or two, if you have not like doubled back or circled back and be like, you know what, that wasn't kind of me, I didn't show up in the way that I wanted to, then I'm kind of like, I'm okay. Like I'm
Yeah.
really good at just like stepping back and like taking a beat. Mostly because, and I think that this is like maybe a toxic trait in me, is I have a lot of friends. I have like a really big community. So like if it's someone that I love deeply and I know that they're like working through something and maybe I don't have all of it in me to work through it with them, I'm like, I'm just gonna let you rock and then we'll come back. We always come back home.
Okay, let's start dicing some shit up.
Oh,
So the iconic question on Twitter: what do you owe your friends? And we're gonna look at it a different ways.
Oh.
One, because we were talking about earlier, monetarily.
Okay.
So money and friendships, big thing, right?
Mhm.
The Venmo thing we're talking about is so real. And I feel like it's like interesting because it's like, because it brings up a lot of stuff, right? Because it's like we all get paid different situations.
right.
Like
Yeah.
our like in our friend group, we have people who are like doing gig work. We have people who are making, you know, XX, comma XXX, you know, situations. So it's like, and I feel like I was kind of like, not kind of, I was like in school for a while. So I was like, I would say broke deeper into my adult life. So I definitely had moments where it was like, wow, I actually really can't cover someone's drink.
Mhm.
But then like you were saying, it's about that conversation. Like I would never have been like a little like a Venmo monster, but I do feel for the Venmo monsters because it's like sometimes you really don't have the money, but it's really the friend you know who has the money. But then actually you say you can't like watch the
I think it's all about knowing your friends though, right? Because I
Yeah.
feel like if with the people that I am close friends with, even though half the time I don't know what people do for work, like outside of really the four of y'all, when people ask me what my friends do for work, I forget how to explain Victor's job half the time. I don't know what job he's doing.
to be fair, I do have a weird little.
You know, I'd be like, fashion, I don't know. But like, I feel like even if I don't know exactly what you do, I feel like I know enough about my friends to like vaguely know their lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to expect certain things out of certain people if I know vaguely, like, you know, what their means are.
Yeah.
And there are certain friends where I'm like, bitch, we both big money bags. Who's paying the bill today?
It's around.
But yeah,
When me and Rob go out together, we be like, girl,
We got it today.
Girl.
who got it today?
Who got it
We're going
today?
tit for tat
Yeah.
right now.
Who wants the points? Who wants the points?
Who wants the credit card point?
Yeah, who
I don't
wants the
know.
credit card
How
points?
much do you expect your friends to spend on your birthday for either gifts or experiences? Like how
$0. Time.
Yeah,
I think time is
time.
I would love to like, and I also like, I know that everyone has and does different things and also may not want to do certain things. Like we'll use the example of like my birthday yesterday, we did Wicked and then we went to a bar. Some people don't want to sit through a 3-hour movie musical.
Hey.
I do. But not everybody does. And then some people also like are not drinking or don't drink. So like we have different options. Or people can be like, hey, like I'm not gonna make it to either of these things. Like, can I take you to dinner next week? That works perfectly for me. Or we can go on a walk. Like I don't have any
Yeah.
monetary expectation of a friend. I do think my like biggest expectation is time and like effort
Yeah.
and maybe just like attentiveness. Because I'm also, I didn't like say this when you asked, but a big pet peeve in relationships is like not being locked in. Like if we're at a dinner, if we're at a dinner for an hour and you like check your phone 4 times, I can't do it. Like if it's like,
excuse me.
because it's and more than anything, it's like, well, we barely see each other. Like I don't see a lot of my friends. I see y'all like maybe once a week, but I don't see a lot of my friends that often. So if it's like, if this is our one time in 3 months and we're about to sit and like talk to each other for 90 minutes, you can like put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's actually that's real.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I feel like it's just, I literally have paid for my friends to come to my own birthday dinner because I'm like, I just
Yeah,
want you to be
literally.
there. Like,
Yeah.
you don't got it right now. That's fine, girl. We
That's okay.
put,
Yeah.
put it on the tab. That's
Yeah.
fine. I just want you to be there.
I would agree.
What do you owe your friends emotionally? Going back to that tweet, which, okay, honestly, okay, that tweet that got dragged when it was like that person was trying to give people a script on how to say, like, I don't have the space to talk about this. But everyone was like gone to a war because it was like, everyone's like, oh, your friends, guys, I think the actual language was like, I'm so sorry, I don't have the capacity to address this right now. Like, can we do this later? And everyone was dragging that. But I was like, actually, like, maybe not that sentiment, but like, do you ever have so much shit that you feel like you maybe can't take on your friend's shit that moment, or is that not your tea? Like, do you ever get overwhelmed emotionally by the emotional needs of your friends?
No.
sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, let's explore both of those. What's the no, Tyla?
I think and it's coming from a very specific place for me, is that like, I know that like when I was in a very tumultuous like relationship that required a lot of emotional labor from the people around me,
Mhm.
I felt like a burden. Not saying that the people made me feel like a burden, but I felt like a burden. And so then after that, it became like my personal thing to want to make sure that like it was overly clear to other people that they were never burdening me
Yeah.
with their stuff. But that's just because of like, that's because of my own shit, you
That's
know?
sweet
And like,
though,
I
yeah.
know that. And I think also I kind of just try and think of it as like everyone's always going through something.
Always, yeah.
And like me going through something is not going to make another person go through something. So like, how about we cry together? What if we call each other and now we're both sobbing on the phone? And you know, we might not solve the problem, but like at least we got it out together.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I think most people are just looking for like a listening ear.
100%.
Like I don't think often that like our friends are expecting us to like we're in like a coming of age drama to like hop in a car and be there with like an abundance of flowers and like chocolates and shit like that.
Carrie
Like I think
Bradshaw on
some
New Year's.
No, literally Carrie
Pumping
Bradshaw
through the
on New
snow.
Year's, pumping through the snow to go see Charlotte in Sex and the City,
Miranda.
the film. Oh, was it? Oh, you're right. It was Miranda. Mhm.
Think
But on Chinese food, for Chinese
Chinese
food.
food.
And it's sitting with someone, which I think like we can do that for people. That's nice to do. But I think the average person just wants to like you to pick up the phone and like listen to them and hear them out.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's ever like, it is very rare that I don't have 15 minutes to give somebody my ear.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I said sometimes, like, not in the way that, like, I am, like, burdened by it and, like, not doing it. Because going back to, like, what we owe our friends, I think that we do owe our friends time and care. And sometimes, like me and Robert say, and we got, like, we have to eat it sometimes. Like, sometimes it's like, I'm not going to lie and say that, like, sometimes it is like, damn, bitch, you're going through a lot. But, but I think that is very human to be like, damn, you got a lot going on. Okay.
Was that tweet? It's like that the guy texting the girl and she's like, I had a bad day. And he goes, damn, bitch, what do you have a good day? Like,
But then he still goes, what's wrong? And
That's something up.
And I think that's up. You still, you still have to eat it and you still show up. And I think it's okay to be like, a bit like to feel the weight of like those emotions and to be like, I don't like want to do this, but I'm still going to do this. And I think that is what's key, because it's like you're not burdening somebody with it, and like your friends aren't going to be a burden to you, but you still just have to like put that, like sometimes you have to step outside of your like feelings and needs in order to show up for somebody else. And I think
that's actually so real. That is so real.
I mean, but, like sometimes you just gotta eat it.
I know. I've
And it's
texted
like,
y'all before, and y'all be like, "Damn, bitch, what the fuck?"
and it's like, well, what's wrong?
But it's also like, no, because it's like asterisk, because also it's like some things, like some people just have crazy things happen all the time. You know what I mean? Like it really is like some people are just always in something, but it's not them. It's like something just happens. Like, damn, like
You always in something. You always in something. You always in something.
always in something.
But yeah,
like, bitch, sit inside. How about
like,
that?
You got to eat it. And like that's also something that really like, Black Conversations like pisses me off about like we don't owe anybody anything on Twitter, because it's like we absolutely do owe our friends like time and care and consideration and like just general like compassion, like and understanding, and like not saying that, like going back to what I was saying, you shouldn't be doing mental gymnastics all the time to figure out what the fuck your friend is going through and why they're treating you like shit. But there is a certain level of like, doing the things that you might not always want to do and like showing up in ways that you always might not want to show up because you just want to sit in your house and like lounge around and like, we do owe people that. I think we owe people that in general.
Yeah.
I think we owe humans that.
And it's like
No, you go.
I was gonna say it's like the difference between someone that is like super individualistic versus someone that like invests in community is like the difference, and that's like also like a green flag for me is if someone can like show up for other people and is like interested in being like more communal than like more individualistic, and like we always have to take care of ourselves. Like that's not that's not a bad thing necessarily, but like showing up for your people is something that you owe them.
Yeah. What do you owe your friends in terms of accountability? When do you start saying, girl, this is either too much or this is bad or this is, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like also it's so hard because now that I'm getting older, it's like, there's so many things that like I've flip-flopped on like what I should have opinions on in my friends' lives. You know what I mean? Like, because when I was in college, I thought I had to solve every problem. I thought I had to keep everyone straight in line. And I'm mostly like, listen, if no one's dying, if you're not dealing with the mafia, whatever you got, it's going on.
That's the hard.
But I always say, I know, right?
I know. Did you bring that up because of your?
Actually, literally, no. I guess that was a little latent situation. But I also was saying, oh yeah, I had a little. I don't want to say on camera.
It's okay.
I don't know.
No, you didn't.
It never happened.
It never happened. Never happened. I'm sorry, Beyonce.
Beyonce, thank you.
Thank you, Beyonce.
What is an area where you like will always hold your friends accountable for? Like, is there something that you're like, I can't have this happen? Like,
nobody's having a baby.
Oh,
like preemptively,
right?
Like, like if my friends are like, I'm pregnant, I'm gonna be like, well, how about we sit and talk?
Sorry. So let's go to the lady.
Like, let me hold your hand. Let's talk about it. Like serious, like permanent life altering things, or like I looked at Victor and laughed because like one of the last times me and Victor had a little friend tip was Victor pulling me aside at the bar and said, this man will kill you one day, and I don't want to be there for it. And I was like,
that's pretty real.
I was like, why would he say that to me? I'm so happy and I like him. And he said, okay. And, we had to but like, that was his line. Like, it wasn't just like you're dating a guy that like is annoying. It was like, that man is scary.
Yeah, he's
and I simply like, you're going to be mad at me.
Deadbeat.
Famously, and a brokey. You know who you are.
Lame.
But that was Victor's line. Like, he was like, you're going to be mad at me, which I was for like, 3 days, whatever, a week, perhaps. And he was like, but I'm going to say it. And like, I think that was a very fair, like, safety, life-altering choices.
Yeah. You just got to say it. That's what it is. Like, you just have to say it. I always say my policy is you say it once, you say it, well, not even once. Say it however times you need to say it, but just say it clearly, plainly, and move on. If the person's like, no, it's like, okay, whatever. You heard it. You're grown. Like, yeah, that's kind of my vibe too. Yeah. Okay, Rob, your friend's cheating on their man. Are you holding them accountable? And if so, how?
I mean, like we all just, I think you say it once. Because I'm like, I mean, like, everybody's an
that's
adult.
Crazy.
Everyone's an adult. Everyone's gonna make grown people decisions. Like if you want to cheat, you can cheat. But like I don't. And I might cover for you one time, not two.
My boyfriend, they're lying.
Right.
My boyfriend, please know that I would never ask them to do that for me. I love you so much.
I will.
That's my little secret. I'm not doing it.
And I'll hold one. I won't hold it twice. Because at the end of the day, like my allegiance is to you. Like obviously I know the partner and I love being like friends with my like friends' partners. But like you're my person at the end of the day.
That's my friend.
You're my person at the end of the day. So you get one time to lie and I'll cover for you. And then after that, I'm not big on lying. So and I'm also a horrible liar. I am horrible.
So bad.
I'm a horrible liar.
Don't put me
in a position where I gotta lie. It's gonna look bad.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like I wouldn't cover just because it's like, if you want to be messy and cheat, you better be like, you better not be messy enough that you need me to help. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just do it on your own. Like,
Because that means you're mad at it.
Right. I won't
Send
do
me
that. Like, I won't do
double
that.
down.
Like, I feel like because I don't know this guy, it's like, it's even dirtier for me to lie to his face. Like, that's like crazy. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But I wouldn't be like, I don't know. I would also just say it once. And if a friend keeps cheating, like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know. I also wouldn't be happy for them either. Like, I'm that friend too where it's like, you can make your decision.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to act like I'm happy for you for that. You know what I mean? Like,
Trey famously never smiled at one of my ex-boyfriends in the many years that I dated
still
him.
can't stand that ass, but it's whatever. We
Yeah.
moved on.
I feel like I am a very big, like, I said that with such disdain.
With conviction. And you mean, and
You
Trey means that.
I
Trey
I
means
feel like
that.
I love like a call in to my friends. Like, especially, I also feel like it depends on my friend because like I have like my little gaggle of like my handful of like straight men that I'm friends with, and I'm much harsher with them, and I'm like much quicker to hold them.
You
to
said this is
task.
direct harm to the community.
Yeah, no, like I'm like, but I'm also just like, you are already a straight man. We're starting from the bar is low, and I'm friends with you. So
Yeah.
like you've gotta elevate yourself if you want to stay in this upper echelon of friendness.
Right.
Okay.
What's your friendship love language? Well, I think everyone's saying time. Y'all have been saying time
Yeah.
and effort.
Mhm.
Quality time. But I think words of affirmations is big for me. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely need it said. Say it.
Say it.
Say it. Because
out
I
loud.
will spiral out on my own. I'm like, But did they say it? But they say it. But they return the I love you. I don't know. That I just need it said.
Yeah, I feel like the words affirmation helps me not to get crazy because I know I'm getting crazy when I start reading into the order I was tagged in a situation. That's when I'm feeling friend insecure, where I'm like, I was third. It's like, wait, what?
On the Instagram story, you're like,
Yeah,
mm.
I fear I do check that every time.
Really?
It just
That's why
it passes in my mind, but I know it's like I'm able to be like, Trey, that's crazy, so it doesn't mean anything. But I'm like, no,
That's why I hide the tags. That is why I hide the tags.
hide those
Because
tags.
that way nobody can know.
Hide those tags. Okay, so we're gonna move into the next stage of friendship. We've kind of touched on, but you know, sometimes it gets stormy. Sometimes situations happen.
Yeah.
Friendships are all about overcoming
Mhm.
obstacles, and sometimes your friend's the obstacle, and that's okay. And sometimes you're the obstacle, and that's okay.
Jesus.
We can move mountains here.
We can move mountains.
Yeah.
Do you get jealous or nervous when two of your friends start getting closer?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I do.
I
I have anxiety. And I think a big anxiety trigger for me is like abandonment. We're not going to get into the roots of that, but I'm sure you can figure it out. And so sometimes like it's not even necessarily it's just like hyper anxious FOMO
yeah.
of like,
Yeah.
oh, these people are having so much fun and like,
Mm.
did they not want me there? And like, why wasn't I like, even though there will be some time, like y'all go out and have gay boy dance night. I don't necessarily get anxious now, but I remember the first time it happened, I was like, why am I not a gay boy? I'm just not. I'm not. Like, I don't know. I can't do anything about that. But I definitely think it's like something that is like a known anxiety trigger for me for sure. But I think I've just kind of like learned how to work through it. But I definitely am like looking at Find My Friends and being like, why are they in the same place and I'm not?
I like it. I'm like, yeah, y'all go over there.
Get into
Y'all
it.
Get into that. Well, but also I'm like, you know, everything's not for everybody. And, you know, I'm
Really?
like okay with I've grown into being okay with that, especially being in like fashion. It's like there's always something happening and it's so easy to get into FOMO and be like, well, why wasn't I there? Like, well, why didn't I get that invite? Or, well, why this person went to this? Oh, these people, like these two of my friends are at this party together. Why aren't I there? But it's also like, I'm not supposed to be there. And like something that's like, that has like, no, but like, it like, that has like cured my FOMO being like, if I was supposed to be there, I would have been there. You know, if like the universe wanted me in that room there, I would have been there. And maybe I can try to do things differently next time to get into the room. But I'm also like, I don't care that much. Like, you know, it's like, we've been in all the rooms. I've gotten my fashion party space phase out of my bones. I'm like, I'm okay.
You've seen the room. You've been in
I've seen the room. But also like, Malaysia and Ambra and Angela have been hanging out a lot recently, and I love it. I'm like, you Black women in Harlem, hang out. Sisters on BET Plus.
Because angels.
Yes, I love it. And I'm like, I think that is really, really cute. And I'm like, I would like to be there sometimes, but I don't need to be there. Like, it's like y'all do y'all's Black Woman Sunday and like run around Harlem. I love it. I think it's really, really lovely.
Yeah. And I feel like to piggyback off of like Black Women in Harlem thing, I feel like that's often the root of it is like there is some common underlying factor that like
shared
just
identity.
doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Like famously, I'm not a gay boy. I should not be a gay boy dance night. I cried about it. I didn't cry. But I was like, I want to be a
You're
gay
always
boy
welcome,
too.
Tyler. You're truly always welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But you know what I mean? And I feel like that is like
it's devolved into gay dance night.
Hey.
Yeah, we changed. We did.
I'll be there next time.
To be more inclusive. We actually changed the group chat name. It's changed to
GDN.
just GDN, yeah.
But I feel like that's often what it is. And like there's the self-awareness of being like, this room is not for me. And that is okay. Sometimes y'all do shit where I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like I simply would not have fun doing that. So why would I force myself to be there?
Yeah. People have different interests, and that's okay.
Right.
I think that's what I've had to do. We talked about this at wine night. Like decentering yourself is very, very important. And I have a lot of friends that do different things, and I feel like we all do, that are like interested in things that I'm just not, and not even in a bad way, but like I just know that I'm not like going to have fun at this thing, or I'm not going to enjoy this thing, or this space is like protected and preserved for y'all. And I like want you all to have those spaces because I also want my own spaces, like certain friends and stuff like that. So I'm very okay with people becoming close.
What's a deal breaker when it comes to conflict in a friendship?
Like a screaming match.
Yeah, I don't.
I think.
Why are we screaming? Like, I mean, like, yes, get heated, whatever, but like being yelled at would not bode well for me. I don't think.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like not that serious. Like, if shit gets serious. But like, I don't know. I feel like the yelling or like I can't stand like a person who like when they're like losing, they just like. It's like they burn down the village. You know what I mean? Like, let's just have a conversation. Like, it's not that serious, but like, if you make it serious, it can be that serious. But like, I don't like a person who like makes everything like, I don't know, or attack on their character when it's like, no, you're just wrong. You know what I mean? That kind of vibe. Like, just be able to take the criticism.
Yeah.
I'm big on like loyalty, number one, and like if you do stuff that like I consider like disloyal, I will never speak to you again. Just like so plain and simple. But
so is that like canoodling with the enemy? Like,
yeah, I mean, not even. Yes, I'll say it. People say it's immature. Why are you hanging out with the bitch who said she wants to beat my ass? Hello, because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be jumping her together. Like, I can't. Well, also because the way that I think about it is like in college, that wasn't real. Like in college, that's like not. But like at an older age, like if you were speaking about someone that I love deeply in a extremely like I don't want to be around you.
Yeah.
I can't be around that. And so I'm always like, how you around them when they said this and this and this about me and you ain't checked them? Like, what? You're bugging. But also I think like a lack of like willingness to like meet in the middle. Like I feel like the goal of a conflict should never be about
me versus
right. It's always should be like, how do we get past it? And like if we're talking about something and what I'm saying is not existing in your world and you have like no desire to understand where I'm coming from, then we don't need to talk.
Yeah.
What's your worst friendship quality? Like that you have, like the worst part of your being a friend? I'll say for me, I am a IRL friend. I am not a digital friend. I'm not good at texting. I'm not good at calling. I'm not good at FaceTiming. I'm honestly not even good at commenting on Instagrams or even like looking at other people's feeds. Like I don't know what it is. Like I'm not. Like I'm in the person. Like if we're in person, we can have like the best time ever. Like I'll show up. I'll go 20 miles. Like I am one of those people. Like I don't mind staying up, going far. Like I'll make it happen. But if you just want to like chat on the phone, I'm like, I'd rather die. I don't know why though. It's so strange. It's so strange. But I'm trying to get over it, trying to get past it. Also because I'm realizing that it's like hindering, I feel like it's hindering dating. I feel like you can't date unless you're a texter caller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the modernization of like communication methods. Like
kills me.
Which I know is hard, but yeah, no, Trey will not pick up a random FaceTime. That is not for him.
I will respond to text 3 days later, honestly. Like it's bad, but
You
No,
got better at
that's
voice
just my
noting.
apology. I should improve. What'd you say?
I said you've gotten better at voice noting. I feel like that's like
Yeah.
I like a voice note.
Supplement.
I enjoy a voice note. I just need to get like timely with it. Like I need to respond in the moment, but I can't do it. But I am trying to do better for my friends that I left. But what are your
I feel
worst?
like I have
friends?
two. One, as we said before, I'm always in some shit. Like there is always something going on in this world over here.
Shit going on.
There's always some shit going on. It is never a calm day on the ranch. And so I feel like that is sometimes probably like, I know sometimes I send a text and y'all be like, here this bitch go again. What
I'm
the
into it.
fuck?
I'm into it.
Like,
Or yeah, it could be fun, you know? It's like,
I'm
oh,
into
the
it.
drama. And then two, I feel like I'm a very like ebb and flower. Like I kind of always, I have like seasons of like, I'm hanging out in this place with this group of people a lot and I'm hanging out. And I've learned that can make like other people feel less
Yeah.
cared
Mhm.
for.
Mm.
And that's really just because like I'm the Sagittarius and probably got a little bit of ADHD. I just be doing shit. But I've tried to like realize that like if I'm hanging out with this group of people all the time, that means I'm not hanging out with my other groups of friends.
Mhm.
And so I'm trying to get better at that, at like tapping into all of my friend groups at multiple times instead of like hyper focusing on one.
Yeah, the juggling. It's hard.
Yeah.
Worst friend qualities. Anyone want to come to the red table? White table.
Both of them with their mouths open like
I
Right.
know.
They say-
I feel like I shut down a little bit. I think that's probably my worst quality, both like in interpersonal interactions and then also just like in life. Like if I'm overwhelmed, it'll be like a week before I tell anybody what's going on.
Mm.
And I'll like send a big block of text and be like, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And I think it's because I like to like resolve things on my own.
Mm.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm just like working through that. That's like a therapy thing. It's like, why do I feel like the need to always have
Yeah.
to like be me against the world, which is truly just not true. I have like this amazing community of people, but I'm always like, sometimes I feel like I'm like Summer Walker sliding down the fucking walls by myself,
Hey.
which is just not true. And then I think in terms of like interpersonal interaction, sometimes too, like if I don't have the energy or if there's like something going on that I just like don't have it in me, I will kind of just like remove myself,
Mm.
which I feel like is not always good.
But I feel like you're communicative about it. Like even like the other day you were over like Robbie's like landed from a plane. We were at a friend's house and Rob was like, y'all got an hour. I'm tired. I'm gonna go home. Like, but that was like you communicated that. Like there's something
Yeah.
Yeah.
wrong with that kind of vibe, I feel. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Victor?
He's thinking.
I'm like really trying to figure out. I'm like,
Well, that's
there's,
beautiful that you're like struggling.
16 things I'm like thinking about.
Oh, I thought you were saying I couldn't find one. I was like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. No, and there's like
I know. Literally.
16 problems with myself. I'm like, I think I'm a pusher, and I definitely can be like very, like, I'm a pusher, and I'm like a digger, and I really like.
Sorry.
A pusher and a
Oh,
digger.
I don't like that. Oh, well.
No, I'm thinking of Mean Girls. You're a pusher. You're a pusher.
Yeah, I'm like, I like
Jags?
to get to the root of things, and I think that like with it is just because I like care and I like am curious and like inquisitive about it, and I want to know why. I like genuinely want to know why.
Right.
But like some people view that as like interrogative,
Mm.
and it's something that I'm really trying to work on. And also, it is like it's the fact that sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it, and I just need like a hard stop.
Mm.
And so, like, we had this I had this conversation with one of our good friends actually, where I was like, I just need you to give me a hard stop sometimes. Like, I just need you to literally tell me, like, Victor, enough. Like,
Cut me off the tab. Cut me off the tab.
it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. I actually don't want to talk about it anymore. And I'll be like, I'm understood. You know, got it. I'm sorry.
Silent.
He said, well, yes.
Yes, I'm done. I'm done. But I'm curious to know what like you guys think.
I was gonna say, what if we did the reverse?
I would
know.
go with reverse. I
What
would
if
go
we
with
did
reverse.
reverse?
No. Okay, yeah, you only sign up if you want to hear it. So
I wanna
signing
hear
up
it.
first. I want to hear it from me. What's my worst?
I want to hear too. Oh, we're all opting in.
Oh,
Yeah, everyone's
All
opting in.
opting
Agree.
in.
But,
Okay.
okay, we just need to know everyone to opt in.
Yeah.
We need everyone to opt in.
Looking for clues of the insurrection right now.
Hello.
This is what we're
Lady
doing.
Gaga.
What's my
Are we
worst?
going around? Okay, so we're starting with Trey.
Yes.
Um,
I love it. I'm ready.
No,
Sure.
honestly, I think I would agree with your assessment.
Right?
Is
I'm
that
just
like
not there if I'm
sometimes
not
I'm
there.
just like, bitch, I texted you 4 days ago.
I know.
And you're like, well, I'm looking for clues at the Capitol. I don't know. Like, I'm busy. I also feel like it's not like you're the person I've been friends with the longest. And so I feel like we've kind of like figured each other
Truly just like
out
literally worked it out. Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
me and Trey had our falling out, like, what was that, like 6 years ago, 5 years ago? So
Yeah.
I feel like now at this point in our friendship, we're like very much on like a
Literally
like, poster vibe.
Yeah.
But I definitely never get a text back from you. That is
That's funny. I think for Trey, I think sometimes you're a bit too on guard.
I'm biting.
You are.
I'm a biter. I'm a biter. I'm a biter.
I think like sometimes I'm like, ah. I'm like, I didn't mean it like that.
I'm a biter.
It was just, I didn't mean it like
know.
that. But I think that's because I actually don't think you're like that like disconnected digitally. Like I don't think you're answering my
time wise.
FaceTime,
I always
and you know, but I understand it.
And it's okay. I also
busy.
I'm a biter, and it's a new thing, and it came from I had like how my friendship. I had like this guy I thought I was best friends with, honestly in love with. So weird and scary. And he just was awful. Like awful person, like was just like said crazy shit to me all the time, all throughout college. So now I'm like, no one's ever going to misspeak to me ever again. And then people be like, love the shirt. And I'm like, oh, you love the shirt, you bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's very that. It's very that. I think I've gotten better this year, but last year was dicey.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Last year was dicey. One of our friends, our good friends, she was over and she said something, and I was just saying a normal thing I thought, and she goes, listen, it's not me. Hey, I don't want to fuck. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm a pit bull, but we're working through it. But I do like being fierce. So that's kind of nice too.
Work.
Yeah.
I think you and I have a very similar one where I think we are both a little guarded sometimes.
Yeah.
Where it's like we will do the thing before we tell anybody that we're going through the thing.
Literally.
Like, well, it'll be a long week, or you always know that something is going on because Trey will not really be like hitting the group chat all week, and then Friday will come and it'll be like a 4-minute voice note, being like, bitch.
Hey guys.
I gotta tell y'all what happened this week, and it's like it's always fine and it's always perfect because we always like hold each other down. But I think that that's like a growth thing, is to try to be less guarded.
Right. I know. The when you said like, I need it to be resolved before I say anything, I was like, damn, that's like me down. Like that's me down. Because it's like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll clean up in here. Don't worry about it. I'll clean up in here. All right, Miss Tyler. I know what it's like it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's just something that like it's like, girl. But like Tyler's a creature of comfort, and she will have the path of most comfortability will win out all the time. So it's like if there's if there's 2 different parties going on and Tyler knows more of people one party, but maybe we all want to go to the other party, Tyler's not going to the other party.
Going.
Tyler is not going, like Tyler's not going to a party to like, as an olive branch to someone she doesn't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's going to do what she wants to the people she wants, but like, and she'll be like, love y'all dearly, but like, we'll try to like bring her to something else, and she's like, she just won't do it. And she won't come to Manhattan. Like, she just won't do it. Won't do it. But it's like, I get it. Like, it's like you like the people you like. And like you were saying with your friendly thing, you're like, I'm not going to be a bitch, but like, I'm not looking for new people. So I get that. I do get that. But sometimes you just want to party uptown.
You won't get me across that bridge.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that your thing is that you just don't eat it. Like, you like, it'll be like, well, please. And you're like, well, I actually don't want to do that. And it's like, okay, but like, I want
you don't eat it.
You don't eat it. Like, you don't eat it. Like, you won't do it. And I think that is something that I've had to come to grips with our friendship, where I'm like, it actively like pisses me off sometimes. Because, like,
Victor probably are up there in the people that bicker the most because you don't eat it either.
I do. I eat it all the time. I'm always in Brooklyn. I take that hour long.
Yeah.
I lied.
I show out. I'll do the 3 parties and I eat it. I bop around. I'll show up. I'll do it. I'll be there.
And I won't come to Manhattan.
I feel like I eat it a lot. And as somebody who eats it a lot, I think that's what annoys me. Is I'm like, bitch, what am I doing? Yes. And so it's kind of like a thing where I'm like, well, bitch, fuck, what am I eating it for? And then I'm like, well, because I like these people.
But that's the thing, is that like, I will eat it for you. Like, if we all decide to go to Manhattan.
No, you won't. You literally have not. You actively haven't.
You will go to a dinner, but you won't. But if he invites you to a party that's not his place, like come.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's like, I know you and I like you. So I will come to your house. I'm not going across the bridge for someone that you like that I don't know that well. I don't know that.
Mind you, y'all, New Yorker. She won't.
I'm from the Bronx.
She won't. She's from uptown. That's her hometown. New York.
Do it. I would say the same. You don't eat it.
You don't
Which I think is, we also, I feel like as someone that will eat it as two Sages, I feel like we are like the telecommunicators where I feel like we will talk to each other to see if we need to be checked, to be like, did I do like
did
did I overstep?
The location of the talk is in an echo chamber, by the way.
It is literally
Did I while out?
two dumb bitches telling each other exactly.
Except for the some days where I'm like, baby, you need to eat it. And Tyler will still say no.
Robert literally texted me the other day. Robert, we were at the bar. This honestly was the definition of two Sagittariuses. And he said, girl, we were at the bar and we were the last people there. And I was like, all right, I'm going home to my boyfriend. And he was like, oh, are you going back to the house? And I said, where the fuck else would I be going? And Robert said, Tyler. I said too much.
That's sweet man. Like, that's sweet man. What the hell?
But sometimes it just be happening. I don't know.
You know?
I will take it. I don't eat it.
You don't,
I don't.
and it's
That's
okay.
okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, Vickiana's turn. I mean, we're obviously very self-aware because it's just like, Victor, the conversation ended 10 minutes ago. Like the point ended 10 minutes ago. This person tuned out 20 minutes ago. Like just beating the dead horse. You love a dead horse, you go bop, bop, bop. Like love that. But and like you said, it is literally from like care and communication. You're just like, and you're like, I'm at the Capitol and I'm looking for clues. Like I'm trying to figure it out. But you've gotten so much better in the past, like literally 2 months, being like, oh, I can see myself, I can hear it now. You know what I mean? I feel like you didn't hear it or see it at all. Like I remember there was one time me and Victor, they had a little situation and I was like, it was, I don't know what it was. It was like maybe the Renaissance thing or whatever. It doesn't matter. No, because that was a different situation. But basically Victor needed to tell, this was before Victor told you like, that man's gonna kill you, whatever. So Victor was like really trying to get Tyler to get this in her mind. And I was like, Victor, you want her to get it. So you need to say it in a way that she gets it. You want to say it in a way that you want to say it. And I was like, she was like, we can agree, disagree. And I was like, Victor, if you want her to get it, why won't you say it in a way she gets it? You go, I guess we'll just agree to disagree. I was like, you want her to do it or not? But like, again, it's from care. And you're just like, and you're usually not wrong. You're usually like, this is weird and crazy. And we're all like, it's whatever. But you're like, this is nuts. Like, this is unhinged.
It's so funny because I remember the night that you guys were filming your episode of Prattle, I was like on the phone with you guys, coming back from the Whole Foods. And it was when I was like, I don't like and you were like, I think you just hate the people from this bar. And I was like, no, but I think that the majority of people at this bar are weirdos.
Both things are true.
Both things can be true. I guess, okay, I'm going to clarify what I said earlier. You do eat it. You're just a little stubborn. A tad bit stubborn. But in like the way that you were saying of like things, sometimes things your brain sees it one way, which is why we get into it all the time because we're both the same way. Our brain sees it one way and we're like, well, why would I see it any other way? But famously, us at Renaissance, when Victor said, I'm going to go home. And I said, why would you do that? That's stupid. I don't think I said that's fucking stupid.
You did.
You did.
And that just made me go home.
Right. And then Victor said, and now I'm going to get on the train.
And I was like, I'm definitely going home.
Which like in that.
I got home within the hour.
And
which is great. That was the biggest flex ever. Like, that was the biggest flex ever.
The text of, I'm home actually. I said,
and we checked location. We're like, oh, fuck yeah.
We're still waiting for like White Castle. Like,
whatever.
Which like, and sometimes you are right. And then sometimes you are wrong. And that's okay.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
You don't like being wrong. You're very like you don't like being wrong. Victor is very stubborn, and I think it's like also one of your best qualities because I do like people that are like very firm in their boundaries. But I think Renaissance is the perfect example where like to give everybody context, we rented an Airbnb in East Rutherford, New Jersey, because we didn't want to have to commute back after a 4-hour concert. We had all found our little rooms. We had gotten ourselves together. We pre-gamed. We got dressed. We went to the show.
We paid it.
Paid for. We had all paid for it. Getting home was kind of a disaster. We took an Uber from the middle of the American Dream Mall parking lot.
Hey.
Not even up front.
Deep.
And by the time we got back, Victor was like, you know what? It's actually not that late. I'm just going to go home. And we were like, well, why would you go home?
Also, for context, I didn't know that we were all sharing rooms. I didn't know that there were like 2 bathrooms. I was like, I didn't read enough. And I was like,
everyone had the Airbnb link.
I didn't read enough. And I was like, oh, I'm not as comfortable as I thought I was gonna be. Okay, keep going.
No, and you're like, I'm gonna go home. So I think that's the thing. And then what transpired was just Tyla and Victor being like, just two sides of a different coin that could not see where each other was coming from. And I think Victor's just a little stubborn.
And the thing is, like, the thing about me also, I feel like with that situation is I'm like, I travel all the time. I come back home from deep Bushwick all the time. So like, this is not actually nothing for me because it's one train in. You know, it's actually the bus in and then I'm one train up. So I was like, this actually is easier than the trips that I make home from deep Brooklyn all the time.
And we'll never Uber. Victor will never take an Uber home.
That's something I've recently started doing.
Oh,
It's a new age.
she's turning over a new leaf.
It's a new day.
She's pushing 30.
She's pushing 30.
She's 30.
Uber. She's pushing 30.
She's pushing 30.
30.
Rabisha.
Rabiana. Okay, let's think. Again, in line with what you have, like what you said before, like when, I mean, it actually hasn't happened in a like manifested for me, but like when Rob is not having it, it's over. And so I can imagine like if I was upset about a situation and Rob wasn't into it, it would just be like, Rob would just be like, hey, or you know what it is? No, what it is? It's sometimes Rob's like response or like advice is just like, hey, and I'm like, no, there's no hey, like no, like, or like when someone's like wilding out and Rob would just be like, hey, I'm like, no, this is crazy. But that's just like, that's literally just like internal meters are different where it's like, I'm like, if I think something's egregious and Rob be like, rock out, because he has, you have really like good, like mature, like sense of like being wronged. I think it's like, because in the way that I'm slighted by anything, like a scoff, like Rob isn't. So like when I hear something, I'm like, I would hear like, you know, what's like a good, like, I don't know. Someone's like, someone with a boyfriend be like, I went out and like was like dancing with this guy and like whatever. Like I'd be like, yeah, that was a little strange. But Rob be like, whatever, it's a little fun time, like whatever. But like, that's not even like a friendship thing though, I guess. That's just an opinion thing. Cause you don't really have, there's not like a friendship thing. Cause like you show up for people and like you're there. Yeah, I can't think of anything like friendship wise. You're very responsive. Rob drives I just want to say on record, you drive the group chat. And I really, like he will like post like a random like feeder kind of situation. Like everyone does that but me, but like Rob does it like a lot. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's just it. Like sometimes you're just lit and that's fun. But there's no other, I can't think of anything really.
I think it's not necessarily like a friendship thing for me because I would say me and Rob are very similar, but I know for other people sometimes, I mean, it's the same way. We check each other. Like in the same way where you're like, why the fuck would you say that? Sometimes I will be like, sister, what if we said it differently? And I'll be like, well, I said what the fuck I said. And I said, see, we're doing it again. What if we reassess the way that we let that verbiage go and try again? But it's just two Sagittarius bitches just telling each other exactly.
Exactly.
Sometimes we need to be like, oh, but wait, what if we didn't say exactly? But I feel like, again, it's not necessarily for me because as a Sagittarius bitch, I speak the language, but I also know that other people don't always speak the language.
Oh, yeah.
I would say that, like, and it's not even like a friendship thing. It's just like sometimes Robert can be a little bit, hey, everybody, it's Big Ange here. And it can just be like, it's like there are some times where I'm like, I've like listened to Robert, like, and yet, like, it's usually like very, like, it is like beautiful, like, eloquent language, but sometimes I'm like, what I hear is we're holding space for the lyrics of the fire. And I'm like, and it can be a little bit like tender queer, and I'm like, I didn't know that was happening. Like, I didn't know that they're doing that, and you are in queer media, so
it does apply.
It does apply.
But I also think that's one of my favorite things about you because sometimes I'll just be like, there she goes. There she goes.
I love it.
I love it. It's so funny.
And like we said after Wicked, sometimes you actually do have to
hold space for the lyrics.
Like you actually have
really
to
do
it.
Tyler sobbing next to me through the entirety of the Wicked movie. 2 hours and 40 minutes.
The whole movie.
Journey.
Rob kept looking at me like, are you? Like, no.
Holding space. You're holding
space.
A journey.
We're all holding space.
A lot of queer people on the internet lament that they can't find good queer friends or good queer friend group because horniness always ruins it. What do you feel about that? And are you a friend fucker?
Fuck
yes.
friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck your friends.
I'm like, why are you asking this on this couch?
Fuck your friends.
Well, the people want to know. It's a conversation in the public. And I
Fuck
Sometimes
your
you gotta
friends.
figure it out. Sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta
have to
figure
work it out on the remix.
You gotta work it out on the remix.
Yeah.
Downstairs,
Fuck your
DJ.
friends.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
about that. So when you're saying that, like,
About that.
because I feel like I'm the only person who's like not. I've only like had sex with one friend, and I've like. Yeah, and they're not even like a person I see all the time, but I'm just like not generally a friend fucker. So, but
Trying to figure out who you're talking
everyone's
Anyway.
well, bleep it, but
Oh yeah.
only friend I've
Oh.
had sex with.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot that you can edit this and post.
I
Dang
all
it.
this shit. I don't have to. Okay, so how does it not affect the friendship? Since it seems like for everyone else in the world, it fucks things up and makes things messy, but y'all have navigated it well in your lives. 'Cause
I
you have
talk about this
opinion.
all the time because I date straight men often. I know, the typical bisexual. But they don't understand it a lot because I'm like, there are a lot of people in my life that I consider friends that I've had sex with.
Mhm.
And I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like there's this like, I don't know how to say it without sounding like holding space for defying gravity.
Yeah.
Genderqueer. But I feel like there's
Okay
this,
to be a
like,
Tinder queen
It's okay to hold
sometimes.
space.
There's this, like,
Yeah.
otherness that comes with queerness where we are like, we have to navigate the world differently
Mhm.
because we exist in a different version
It's
of
such a
the
small
world.
bubble.
Yeah, and like the bubble is so small and like we have to navigate sex differently. A lot of our like sexual experimenting is us just figuring it out, and who better to figure it out with than a friend?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And like, yeah, it's such a small bubble, and I feel like with queerness, community is so important, and like I can't fathom. Like I'm always like, unless you've done me so wrong,
Yeah.
I liked you enough to bang you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why would I then ice out the little community I have that is like connected to you? Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna see you again because we like didn't make it work or we like wanted to stop fucking. Like that
Mhm.
doesn't really
Yeah.
make sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
It didn't work, and we're like, okay, well, we tried that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Great
Dap
job.
team up. Yeah, okay.
Great job. See you at the party. Saturday. And I think that's beautiful, you know?
And also sometimes like I don't know.
Sometimes we're just horny. And
Right, like
you just
sometimes
wanna
fucking
fuck.
is just fucking.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
know, like sometimes people just want to have sex, and like
It doesn't have to be something crazy.
yeah, I wanted to have sex. You wanted to have sex. We were in the same place. We had sex. That's it.
I needed a kiss.
Hey.
I needed,
Hey,
Hey.
More with
I
that.
needed some intimacy.
Robert, any thoughts?
No, that that is like my like Trey was saying. I have like a really low barometer for some things, and like
Yeah.
hooking up with friends is something I have a very low barometer for because I'm like,
Free.
it is what it is. you
Yeah.
know? And as long as everyone is like respectful and
Yeah.
communicative, like it
You see me as a
kind of just
person?
works. Yeah, exactly.
Love
I actually do
to-
think that that's probably why like people in our lives have like hooked up with each other, because I think that in general, like sex can feel really transactional, especially like in queer spaces.
Yeah.
And so like being able to hook up with someone that like actually likes you and is like your friend
And like
feels like
you-
kind of nice.
And like
Yeah.
sees you as a
Yeah.
person. Like,
Sees you
and
as a
does it,
person.
it's not like you're just like
There.
used and tossed. And
Yeah.
No.
I think that's like
A
a
hole or a pole.
happening in my older age, being like, wait,
Mhm.
I used to be like, don't fuck your friend because you keep the friends. And I'm like, wait,
Mhm.
I would want my husband to be my friend. Like,
Right.
that sounds like even better.
Mhm.
And I guess it's true. Not much really happens badly. Yeah, we don't know that many people who've like dated and it's gone horribly
No.
as their friends. Is that true? I guess they're all still dating. All the friends I know who
Yeah.
are dating are actually still dating, which is beautiful. And I guess that's the goal.
Mhm.
goal is a goal.
Okay, and I have
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
okay, well, speaking of ends of
Hey.
friendships, what's more hurtful, a falling out or a fizzle out of a friendship?
A
Falling
falling out
Mhm.
is very
More hurtful?
way more
Yeah.
hurtful.
I would agree.
Interesting. Why?
Because I feel like falling out tends to happen when you're closer. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that close friends.
Can you imagine falling out with an acquaintance? Like, fuck you, Melanie. I see you 2 times a year and I
I
can't
hate you.
stand you.
Yeah.
Like that's what tends to fizzle out is like someone you don't know that well. So like it's allowed to like, you know.
Just laughing.
I spilled.
I was like, he's gonna edit it in post.
I fiddled. I fiddled. Thank you. She was
Don't
taking
do it.
her heart.
I'm
spitting
sorry,
her
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
And see.
Capital looking for clues. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's my fault. It's all my fault.
I feel like
Everyone hates me.
Hold on. We gotta get back into the moment so that we can clip these two together. Okay,
All right.
ready?
Yeah.
Perfect. I feel like
going in.
Hey, everyone. It's
Stop.
Big Hand here.
a fizzle out is like more likely to happen with someone who like you don't know that well, you know, which
Yeah.
is why it's allowed to fizzle out. Where like
Mhm.
a falling out is like we care about each other enough to be like deeply upset at one another.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason for that. Like
Yeah.
there's like a reason that like you are like no longer actively speaking. Like a fizzle out, I'm like, oh, we're just in different places and different spaces, and we're just doing different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no malice there, and also like we probably still can't come back together and like key in like a few months when we're in the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't even think like I have so many friends where it's like we just simply don't live in the same city, so it's like we just don't talk very often because I'm like running around doing
New York shit.
who knows fucking what.
No.
You know? No, God only knows.
God only.
But it's like if I'm in the city, I'm still gonna make time to see you. I'm still gonna prioritize like talking to you. I'm still gonna text you on your birthday. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whatever. That kind of a falling out hurts a lot.
Have you ever had a falling out, Rob? Do you have like fallouts?
Yeah, I think I've had like 2. But I would say, like, what is the definition of a falling out? Like, you can't talk to this
You do
person
not
anymore?
I think falling out to me, it's like the friendship ended with like a bang. Like it was a big situation. There was big emotions, and you all stopped talking.
I've had like 2 falling outs, but like these are people that I probably could still text today. Like it wouldn't be like weird for us to see each other in person. It wouldn't be weird for us to like catch up or like speak to. I think for me though, I feel like all of the falling outs, the 2 falling outs that I've had have been just like a misalignment of like values or just like not sharing or like communicating to a point that it was like a little grain of salt that ended up becoming like a pyramid or a mountain where like there was just nothing to come back from at that point.
Yeah.
And I think that that's like even more hurtful than like a romantic breakup, because when I like to think about it, when I think of my friendships, like we finna be here. Like for the like I always say this, especially when it comes to dating too. Like I pour much more into my friendships than I do in dating, because the average person that I date is not gonna be here in a year. My friends, I've like all of my friends I've had for 15, like 10. Even like the shortest friend that I've known for like 2 years, right? So it's like we're really locked the fuck in. And so if I have like a friendship falling out, that is like it's so hard to come back from. Like I don't think that there's a ability to. And it's like extremely hurtful. It's like that really feels like a shot to the chest.
Yeah, that's real. And it just kind of sucks because you're like, damn, like we did all that, like we had all this fun. But then also, like I was saying with the reason of the season, like I do have friends who I don't talk to anymore. I still was like, that was a good time. Like, or like a good moment, but it's like you said, you can't come back for it. Like some people, it's just like, especially in old age, it's like
not old age.
We're
pushing
28.
30.
We're pushing 30. But
30.
as soon as you start pushing 30, it's like, no, every moment, every choice, every energy is like a choice. And like in my life, and I can't have anything that's like not up to par. Not even up to par, but like actively detrimental. You know what I mean? We can get you there, but
I think it's because we have good friends though. Like I actually don't know if it's an age thing. Like I think there are people that it takes them like into their, like I feel like my mom is 48, and I feel like she has finally found like her really strong community, and I think it's because like she needed to see that type of behavior from someone. I don't even think it's about a time thing. So I think like we probably have stronger boundaries with what that looks like because we have really, really good friends.
Right.
And we have people that really show up for each other. And I think we were taught how to be good friends earlier on, whereas like maybe not everybody gets that before.
Well,
you know?
that was a perfect segue again, Rob, because we talked about the budding friendship. We talked about the main stuff and when it gets crazy, but through at the other side of that is your ride or dies. The people you're going to be with forever. So we'll start off with a fun question. What is the most illegal thing you do for a friend? Truly for a ride or die. Like what's the most illegal thing you do?
Murder.
That doesn't make him a bad guy.
It doesn't make him a bad guy. He just got out of jail for murder.
No,
No, I say that me and Rob always say. Rob is like, I will have to come pick you up from Kings County Courthouse.
Kings County Courthouse.
I will drag a bitch up and down Myrtle Avenue for my friends. Like I am very fiercely protective, probably to a fault, of my friends. Like there is probably very little that I wouldn't do. Like, you know, it'd have to be like smart, illegal things. Like, bitch, if you just want to rob a bank for fun, I'm not doing
Baby,
it. Like, girl, let's find another activity.
Yeah.
But if you're like, this man beat me up and we need to go run down on him and like he might get seriously hurt, I guess it's aggravated assault. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel assault, not murder. Let's not kill anybody. But yeah, I feel like that. I would like.
I feel like y'all saying that, but you never know.
I know.
Well, I know. Well, no, shit. Yeah, shit happens. Shit goes left. I mean, my fear is like accidentally killing someone. That'd be awful. But drug smuggling?
No. I think I could. No.
Yeah, me neither.
I feel like I would do something that like really wouldn't impact someone's like livelihood. So like I mean this would impact somebody's livelihood, but like I'll burn a car.
Right.
We can go slash some tires.
Yeah.
We can break a windshield. I'll do that.
I guess when I say murder, I'm thinking like the extreme. Like if like, I mean like, I don't know. Y'all are like big burly.
Yeah, if we
strong
had to
men.
take care of somebody who like deeply.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean? Like if there was a guy who like beat, like my girl was dating a guy and he like was beating her up, we might have to go handle that.
Right.
That's
You know?
right.
Yeah.
I can only promise showing up because I'm like not that good at fighting. So it's like imagine I show up and then I'm like I get fucked up. I would get beat up for a friend though. I would
Big
get beat
Little
up for a
Lies
friend.
shit, you know?
Yeah.
I might have pushed him down the stairs and he might have fell and he might have died. I don't know.
In
But,
that
like,
situation,
I'm
I
not
would
gonna
lie
let
for you.
Get
Yeah.
beat
And
up.
that's if it was gray area, I would lie for you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, see, now we're back. See? I got in trouble.
She
said now we're liars. Okay.
Yesterday at Wicked, there was this woman like 2 seats down starting to sing. And so she was revving up. She had a couple. She tested the waters with a couple of notes, and I looked at Tré, and Tré looked back at me, and I was like, and she kept going, and I looked down like this. She shut that shit up real quick, but Tré goes, I can't fight. And I was like,
I just want everyone to know, like, I will always
Tré
be
was like,
there, but like,
I just can't.
I don't have the technique, but I have the size. I'm just gonna kick the ball. That's all I'm gonna do with these big ass boots. You
Get
can
into the boot.
Hey.
you can.
big boots, yeah. Rob, you said you're doing anything and everything?
Like I said, no, not anything
Busting
and
the
everything,
windows
but
out
I'll
the
bust some
car.
windows. I'll bust some windows.
Jazzy.
I don't know if I would
fellas.
steal. I'm a bad liar. So anything that involves me lying or having to sit in front of somebody and be like, oh, we didn't do that, we're going to jail. Like federal prison, baby. No.
Federal.
Federal, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to do something really big for a friend, you're going to fucking federal prison. This is not like.
Right. Sing on playtime.
Go for jail.
Say no playtime.
And if we're gonna do something, we have to do our big one. Like I'm not gonna like try to go to jail for something small.
I'm not built
Yeah.
for it.
If we got to do our big one, we might as well go all the way.
Yeah. Gotta do the actual big one.
Mhm.
What have you learned from those close to you? Or like how have your friends imparted anything for you to you?
It's not always personal.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that like decentering yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
It's big in here.
No, I feel like I am. I would not be who I am like without learning stuff. Like I feel like I have taken little
Mhm.
life lessons from everyone. Like my little trash friend group. That's what we call ourselves. I fear. Like you know, like my Angel, Eric, Tyler, Khalil. I've definitely learned that it's not that personal from them because I was always the sensitive one in the friend group, and we were cracking jokes. And like eventually, had to learn, like, girl, if you jonesing, you just got to eat it. Like, why are you crying in the
It's
club now
just
that somebody made a joke? Like, relax. And like I feel like from Rob, I've learned a lot about like boundaries. Like from you, I've learned a lot about like putting myself out there more.
Mhm.
For you, I've learned a lot about like, no, bitch, you say you want to do it, so let's do it. Like you set a plan and you go for it, and you're like, well, girl, didn't you say you want to do it? Do it. And like sometimes your digging and your pushing is good. Like I've taken the digging and the pushing because like sometimes you do need to get to the bottom of it.
Mhm.
You know.
Right.
He said exactly.
Well, yeah.
I really do try. I try to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and so I feel like I like pick things up
Mhm.
from. It's like the fucking. Speaking of Wicked, it's just
It's literally the
restaurant.
Wizard of
He's like,
Oz.
Holding space.
I got from her softness.
Oh,
She got
yeah.
from me her strength. Yes,
Yeah.
that's how I feel with y'all.
Rob, what have you gained from your friends throughout your life?
I mean, I think like Tyler said, I think we're all like a mosaic of all of our friends, and we take like little pieces from them. I think the biggest thing is like I feel like growing up, I used to my wheels would spin, the hamster wheel, I like to call it. I used to be like, well, I'm still like very, very anxious, and there's like a lot that always goes on in my head. And I think like Tré always being someone to put yourself out there, Tyler being someone that like will do. I think you are also a doer, much like Victor. Like if
Yes.
you want to do something, you're like, this is gonna happen, or I'm gonna make my ways to do this. And I think Victor, like I said, I think I really enjoy your stubbornness actually, because I think it like is really, really important, and like not only getting what you want, but also like setting your boundaries. Because I think because I'm like, hey, I just kind of let people do whatever. Like I think I do have strong boundaries, but often I'm like, it is what it is. I'll just let it rock.
It's true. Like that is the rule of life, though. It is just what it is.
And I think like having you three has really helped me round out like some of those places. Like I always like to think of like your friends as like compliments to like who you are. Because we're already full. We don't need anybody to supplement us, but we need someone to like complement who our like personality is or like what's in our personality. And I think all of you like have done that, and I've taken a piece from each of y'all.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny. Talking about like complimenting. It's like so funny being in this group because it's so I feel like I show up as myself like everywhere, but I think in this group specifically, I am so, like in the context of like Sex and the City, right? It's like I feel like in this group, I am actually such a Charlotte, and I have like grown into like appreciating that in the last like couple years, and I think it's so funny because it's like not really like that in anywhere, and like anywhere else in any other like group, I'm like not really like that one, but I think it's really funny like to fill that like
Trad wife era?
like yeah, like that like role. I don't know. Yeah, I just love you guys.
I feel like we have like such a very like special and like unique
I love my
like,
friends. Guys, I love my
group
friends.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Like
balance.
we've got the 2 Geminis and the 2 Sages, and then like we like I feel like we like run a gambit of like kooky to less kooky, but like where everyone is on that line depends on the scenario and the situation.
Yeah.
And like I really am always like, girls who like where is our TV show? Because like we really are like I feel like we fit the perfect like 4 friends in the city doing whatever.
Doing anything.
Whatever. And like everyone has a moment. Like Victor's gonna be the one where like we're doing something crazy. He's gonna be like, oh, I don't know what that is.
It gets scary sometimes.
I don't know what that is.
I get scared.
And like Rob is gonna be the one who's, hey, you know, whatever you want to do. I'm in the drama all the time.
I get scared.
Trey, I feel like is like the, kind of the guiding, calming light. Who's
I'm
like,
Trey.
well,
Yeah.
what if we thought about it this way? And I'm like,
Because I feel like I have the street cred of doing the craziness in my own life. So I feel like I can talk about craziness in other life because it's like, ain't nobody doing what I'm doing. Let me tell you that right now. But, but I feel like that works well. I do want to do what I learned from each of you individually, like the Wizard because y'all doing that's great.
Yeah.
But like the unexpected things I learned, I feel like from Rob, the unexpected thing I learned is like how to put yourself together and how to present yourself. Like I feel like that's what I really admire about you. Like you always look together. You're like looks together, friends together, finance together. It's just like shit. Like you really can be on your shit.
Yeah.
You really can be on your shit. You know what I mean? And like you don't have to kill yourself to be on your shit either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Victor, I feel like it's like Victor has this deep compassion that always surprises me and like makes me realize how compassionate I am. Victor's always surprising with his compassion, even though sometimes I'm like, if you want to be friends with my enemy, then do it. But that's on me. That's not Victor. And then for Tyla literally like makes me believe in love like so deeply. Like she's always been so free with her heart, has never like closed it off when meeting the devils. Like I never did. And now she met like an angel. So it's like it's like the true like she's like my Patricia Paytas, like in the sense of like, you know, like she always loved, never stopped, and that's why she found like her happiness.
No, I'm Trisha Paytas.
And I love Trisha. In regards to love. Yeah, and I love Trisha Paytas for that. But to finally wrap up, y'all, we're at the end of this episode.
Really quick.
It's gone super, super quick.
We love to yap.
We love.
I
mean, the fact that we went
get in the room.
Oh no, I was gonna say at wine night, the fact that we went to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning
That was crazy.
is like
9 bottles of wine.
9 bottles of wine deep.
I was not
2 bottles
the
of
next
soju.
day. I was not okay the next
about the
day.
soju
Soju
No,
shots.
I was unwell, deeply unwell.
Deeply. Yeah, okay, rapid fire. Okay, you hate your friend's partner. What do you do with anything?
Like
You just don't like the partner.
I've always been the one
I'm
that
saying
everyone
it.
hated my partner, so
saying
I'm asking y'all.
I'm saying it, but I'm only saying it
That's
once
the
because
one.
I do think it's annoying to rag on someone's partner all the time.
Please say it more than once.
Well, more than once. Yeah, more than once,
I think
right. More
sometimes
than
you need
once.
to
A couple of
say it more than
times, but
once.
not for forever. Like I do
Mhm.
believe in like, you know what? If no one's in direct harm, I
But
just
the
gotta
key is
shut
to
up.
say it when instances arise. Like it's
Yes.
you can't just be like,
Yes.
hey, how you doing? By the way, I hate Jimmy James. Like,
Yeah.
like you
Jimmy
can't-
James. I fucking hate Jimmy
I
James.
can't fucking stand it. You can't just like randomly call him up. It has to be like, Jimmy James did this, and it's like, well, yeah, girl. I mean,
Yeah.
That's what Jimmy James be doing.
That's what Jimmy James be doing. Like,
Very likely place for Jimmy James.
likely James fork found in fucking kitchen. Like, it
Literally.
is likely place for Jimmy James to be.
But as someone, you said you enjoy being friends with your partners, but
Yeah.
you don't like them. Are you like distant? Or are you like, whatever, I can be fake friends with them?
I
don't know.
honestly think it's pretty rare for me to dislike people in general. Like, and I think that's maybe one of my like fatal like life flaws.
Because you've always been the apologetic one.
I
every shitty man I've ever met.
because I think I see the good in everybody. So I'm like, well, also like I don't like to question
But everybody
my.
does have good.
Yeah. Well, I also don't like to like overly question my friends' decisions. Like everyone is an adult, and I like am around people that I think make sound decisions, right? And so like I don't want you to think I don't think that you have like rationale or like that you're making a sound decision for yourself. And like what decision I make for myself or a decision that you make for yourself may not be the one that we would do for each other. Yeah. And so that's how I see like partnerships. So if I don't like action, gone with the wind.
Glass is gone.
Yeah, if I don't like actions, like Victor said, like I'll address the specific action. I don't know that I'll ever say like I don't like a person. Maybe I don't like the way that they treat you, or I don't like how they showed up or what they did. But like, I don't know that I can say that I, dislike a person in totality.
I'm such a pointer. I'm such a bad person. Witch, deadbeat. Like I need to stop doing that.
Munchkin land burning the witch.
Brokey.
Oh yeah, propaganda gets me good. I'm like the enemy. I'm kidding. Other rapid fire question. Okay, your friend is getting married, and the night before the wedding, their partner tries to seduce you. What do you do?
I'm ripping the decorations down. I'm tearing the invitation.
Day of, you're ruining the wedding. Well, the wedding's ruined by the wedding.
I was about to say, I'm gonna let you end up with this fuck ass man for the rest of your life. No. I'm calling you in that moment.
What if it was a softball? What if it wasn't like what if he's
like
just
enough
like
for plausible deniability?
Like you're hanging out, like you're like, oh, have a good night. Like you meet each other in the hallway. He was like, I hope you have a really wonderful night. Looks you up and down, gives you a hug, lower back. You could be crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you bring it up, you could be called a hater too.
Oh.
So I mean, depending on the friend, I guess. But like, what do you do? Like it wasn't like I want you, but it was just very clear to you that he wanted to fuck you, but it was clear to you that like you couldn't really say it.
Well, I guess clear that they wanted to fuck me isn't always clear because everyone's boundaries and everyone's boundaries and everyone's comfortability when it comes to like closeness and physical touch and all of that stuff are different.
Now I'm telling you, your radar went off. This man wants to fuck me.
But that's what I'm saying. That might not mean anything because what I would do as I want to fuck somebody might be someone else's just like, this is just how I am.
Yeah. Okay, so you're not saying anything.
In that like very obscure situation, no.
Right.
If he's like, do you want to have a nightcap in my room? Do you want to have a nightcap with this bottle of alcohol upside your head?
Right, okay. Right, okay.
Kings County Courthouse, famously.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kings County Courthouse.
What about you, Rob? Hand on the small of your back and a kiss on the cheek, and he's like, good night. Like held you a bit.
I do that with friends.
I was gonna say, I feel like
okay,
there's like this very affectionate group of people.
We need to be real. Even the wedding,
the most lovey-dovey hand.
We were very lovey-dovey.
Okay, actually, fuck that. Okay, fuck this middle shit. He wants to fuck you. He wants to eat your ass. Fuck that. Like, what are you doing? Since y'all can't toe the line. Let me say this, though. Let me say this. My man, I don't give a fuck lovey-dovey my man is. My man touches you in a weird way the night before, you have to tell me, okay? Don't assume for him. Don't fill in that blank, okay? For my man.
That's real.
Me.
Yeah.
How about that?
That is real. No, I'm immediately raising the flag. We won't even make it down the hallway.
Yeah.
Hello?
He hears you calling your friend.
He just said he wants to eat my ass.
Literally.
He wants to talk.
Let's have the audience, yeah.
What was...
He has a message for you, because it sure can't be for me. Yeah.
I am, oh my God, what's her name? At the basketball game.
I'm Lala at the basketball game.
Literally.
I'm actually surprised by y'all with the first one. Like,
I don't think so. We are all the most lovey-dovey, touchy-feely,
I think
kissy, huggy people.
Constant and then and it's prolonged.
Yeah.
Then I'm like,
your man be touching.
Your man be touching. Yeah. But if it's just like night. But like I'm like, you know what?
Especially like drunk, like people drunk, they're like, oh my God, I love you.
You're my best friend. Like,
you know, and like we're all a little gay, like, you know.
Damn, it's gonna be bad when I get a boyfriend because I'm killing everybody for.
I'm just like, look at the couples around us. Like we literally like are all grinding on each other in groups. Like we are all very. Whatever. We are all, a lot of us are very affectionate people. So like,
grind train literally
that's a line
at the bar last night.
I was about to say in a grind train, Robert's in the middle of two boyfriends. I'm in the back, like just like, you know, like we all are weirdos.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. To wrap it up in our final 5 minutes of this gorgeous Friendsgiving podcast, simple question.
Mhm.
We have to end with some gratitude.
Yeah.
How thankful are you for the ride or dies in your life?
Why would
Oh,
you
wow.
say that?
Oh,
I don't wanna cry.
okay.
I was
I'll
gonna
start.
say, I don't
I'll
wanna
start.
cry.
I am so grateful and thankful for the ride or dies in my life. Also, because when I was a kid, my biggest fear was not having friends. Like, I was always afraid that I was going to go to college because I went to a school from 4th grade to 12th grade. So I was like, it's going to be so hard to find friends. Didn't know who was going to be. And I'm so happy that the friends I actually ended up meeting were even better than I could have even dreamed of, because it's like the people you want to be with. I'm constantly wanting to impress y'all. I'm constantly impressed by y'all. And it just makes you want to be a better person every level, every day. So I'm really grateful for that, keeping us on track and yapping, which is my favorite thing to do. Yes.
You're the best.
I can't say too much or I'll start crying.
That's good.
In the spirit of Wicked and holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
Yeah.
I literally can't put into words how thankful I am for my friends. And I would not be the person I am today. I might not even be here. I would probably be in a loony bin right now if it wasn't for y'all holding me together by the seams. Yeah, no, my friends are like literally everything to me. And I am immensely grateful.
So cute.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you said it at the beginning. It's like friends that become family. And it's like, I feel that so seriously, especially with you guys. And then also with just like everybody like who like just has become a part of me, like has opened their like homes to me.
Mhm.
Like their family has become my family. Like I think about like Malaysia and her family and how like it's like that's like my second family. Like even like I go out to LA and I like stay in like Jessica's like family home, and I'm just like a part of that. And it's just like everybody, like you guys are just so amazing and inspiring and like smart and like funny, and like I am so in like admiration of like everything that you guys do. And like I am like, I know I'm crazy and like kooky, but like I appreciate you guys for always like keeping me on track, and also like caring enough to keep me like accountable for like the things that happen, or just like existing and carving out time and supporting like anything. Like, and it's like so nice to support you guys, it like gives me so much like joy.
We here, bitch.
I love you guys.
Locked in.
Twin.
Where have
Where have you been?
to add on to what you said, I think family is really, really important. And I think family comes in a number of different ways. And as someone that is like close to their biological family, but also has a lot of people to hold me down on a day-to-day basis, I think like my immense gratitude goes for like the small things. I think when people think about friendship, you think about like big things, big showing up for big events, being around for like the weddings, the birthday parties, the graduations, all of that kind of stuff. And all of that is a part of it. But I think like what I am most grateful for is like the small moments and the small laughs, or like the eyes that you make across a bar at somebody when like some weird shit happens, or like or some fuck shit is going on. Like I'm so grateful to have just people that I can do it all with. Like we can laugh, we can cry, we can dance.
Hey.
We can like travel, we can do everything together, and it just feels so like and it just feels so special that like we can all exist in all of those different things. And I'm just grateful to have a piece of all of you with me every single day.
Amen.
Amen. That was so beautiful. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been another episode, a very special Friendsgiving episode of Prattle with Tré Vayne. Season 2, it's coming when someone gives me $2,000.
Hey.
You know what I mean? But it is
Where
coming.
Can they give you $2,000?
And they can give me $2,000 at TRE-VAYNE if you want to Venmo me for that money. But
Hey.
I didn't know which way.
But in the spirit of friendship and in the spirit of Wicked, I just want to leave us with the lyrics to my favorite song from Wicked, For Good, that just brings into the friendship and Friendsgiving spirit. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood, who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I've been changed for the better. And because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you hold your friends tight tonight.
Hey.
That was beautiful.
Oh my God! That's so sweet.
I told you I was gonna cry.
That is so sweet.
That's
Aw.
beautiful.
All of us not noticing until the end.
And
Y'all
then-
said, oh.